there's so many things that I like about him, not only from just a physical ability, but he is one of the most competitive players that I've ever been around. I mean, you can see it on a daily basis. It's not just on the field; it's in the meeting room too. And I just enjoy our communication. I think I enjoy the challenge. He's an extremely intelligent player that has played a lot of ball, and you better know what you're talking about.
Matt LaFleur there on his relationship with Aaron Rodgers, and we've been discussing and breaking down the ins and outs of what this relationship might be between LaFleur and A-Rod. So the Packers veterans did report to training camp just yesterday. Time to talk some Packers, and for that, let's go to a party out in Green Bay. Rhett Lewis sitting there with OG from the Packers, James Jones, both there to discuss what the latest is from camp. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's going on, Kay? I'm here with a Packers legend, and yeah, you'd know that if you walked in with me. I mean, it's like you never left, James.
I know, man. They showed me a lot of love, man. It makes you feel good. It warms my heart. I mean, I caught a couple passes out.
Yeah,
there,
a couple of questions about where the hoodie was and all that, but just like old times here with James Jones.
Absolutely.
Although things are a bit unfamiliar here as the Packers begin training camp, James. We're talking about a team that is entering camp on a playoff drought for the first time, official non-playoff streak.
Yeah.
They haven't missed back-to-back postseasons in over a decade.
Yeah, that's not us.
But that's what Matt LaFleur is charged with changing. But he'll have to do it with some unfamiliarity on defense as well. We know Clay Matthews left, but how about a surprise yesterday in releasing Mike Daniels? 7 years here in Green Bay, and now he's gone. How would that move have played in the locker room when you were here?
I heard, Kenny Clark has been balling, stepping up, really being that number one D tackle. But this was surprising because all my years here, we always had depth.
Right.
And I felt like Mike Daniels is a Pro Bowl caliber player, and he gave you depth just in case somebody got hurt. So I was surprised, and especially the way it happened. The day that you report to training camp, they let him go, and especially a guy like that really gives you a lot of production, you know what I mean, and plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's a leader on the ball club. And then the day before training camp even starts, you cut one of your best players on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll see how they fill his spot, and we'll see how the defense steps up without Mike.
So offensively, a little bit of change as well, but the constant always is Aaron Rodgers, and we know what he can do with Davante Adams. There's only one receiver in football who's caught more touchdowns than Davante Adams the last 3 seasons. That's Antonio Brown. So we know what they've got there. But what about after Davante Adams? Who is the number 2 receiver? A lot of young guys there, Geronimo Allison, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Who jumps out to you, and who's the most viable candidate to jump in there?
Rhett, that's a very good question, because when I was here, we had the same situation. We had a similar situation to where we had a lot of young guys, myself, Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, and everybody was like, bring in a veteran, bring in a veteran. And Ted Thompson was like, relax. We got a lot of young guys that we developed, but the fans weren't ready to hear that. They wanted a guy that what they knew they were getting. So I want to see how the chemistry is going to, come along with these young guys in year 2. But from what I'm hearing from scouts and now, and from obviously Aaron Rodgers and those guys, is Marquez Valdes-Scantling is his spot to lose. It's his spot to lose. He's one of those guys that's big, strong, fast. Can blow the top off defense, especially when you got Davante Adams on the other side, being able to break corners down and run great routes. So I think it's his job to lose.
And we'll get our first look at how that offense under Matt LaFleur now is going to look here. First practice for Green Bay about 10:15 local time, so into our second hour of Inside Training Camp Live here from Green Bay, from Lambeau Field. And James, you mentioned all the things you were hearing. I mean, basically a newsbreaker here. And he's going to talk with Aaron Rodgers later. Are you anticipating any news that's going to come out of that conversation you're going to have?
Rhett, I'm going to just get to the bottom of all this, audible situations and all that stuff. So I'll make sure I have an answer for all of our fans out there that's watching the show today.
Who needs Ian Rappaport when you got James Jones, NFL Network insider? So we're looking forward to 5 hours of live coverage here from Lambeau, beginning right when you guys finish up there, Kay.
Rhett, quickly, aren't there some bicycles that you guys should be rolling in on? Isn't that today? Did I miss that already?
Look, it's coming. And James and Stacey Dales, who's also here, I believe, we're going to have a little friendly competition on who can get to the field faster.
Okay. Stacey beat me last year.
Stacey's very competitive now.
Yeah, Rhett, check your phone. I think Ian Rappaport just texted you back here in studio. I guess we're going to check in with Kyle Brandt, who's not in studio. He's somewhere in New York City. Take it away, Kyle.
Thank you, Kay. We go from Lambeau Field to another hotbed of the NFC North, Lower Manhattan. Guys, I'm down here in a beautiful tree-lined street, cobblestones and all, and I found myself a couple of fans. Come on over here. We got a Packers fan. This is Will, and we have a Bears fan, David. Real fire and ice here. Will, this is funny. Before we started, Will said he has a message for Packers Nation. He's producing himself. Will, Good Morning Football is all yours. What do you have to say to the Packers fans?
Well, thank you, Kyle. To all the haters that have written off Green Bay, you better double check that discount because it's 2019 and the Pack are back. Matt LaFleur's sexy new offense and the reinvigorated defense mean the NFC North is coming back to Titletown.
Hey, CM Punk, eat your heart out. That was good. Any response from the Bears fan?
I mean, there's really not much to say for the reigning NFC champs, Chicago Bears. But we're going to bring it back. We're going to run that back. We're going to beat Packers. We're going to beat the Lions, the Vikings, everyone in our path. And we're going to take it further. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. Mitch Trubisky, it's going to be his best year yet. Offense is back. Defense, monsters of Midway. Let's go, Bears.
There we go. Scathing rhetoric down here in Lower Manhattan, guys. We're going to play a little game with these two. Come on over here. We're going to find out who's really king in the North because we're just in time for the Game of Thrones references. But we do a series here called Football Recognition. This is very simple. I'm going to show you guys a Packer for you, Will, a Bear for you, Dave. All you have to do as super fans, as we just gave these powerful, moving speeches, just say what player it is. That's all you have to do. It should be simple. Are you ready, Will? Don't get off to a slow start here. Ready? September 5th, Bears-Packers. Name this player right here. Bring it up. Who is that?
That's my guy, Aaron Jones.
That is Aaron Jones. That's right. You a big UTEP guy?
Of course.
Who isn't? Aaron Jones came on the show. He's a big fan of breakfast tacos, continuing our morning themes. 1-0 Packers. David, are you ready? This is a great Bear we're going to show you. Who is that?
Shalom, Tariq Cohen.
Shalom, Tariq Cohen. Yes, local reference here from David. By the way, you guys in the studio, I know you're screaming out the names. Anyone can play along at home. It's the Football Recognition home version, 1-1. Another Bear, please. Give me another Bear. Come on, get in here. Let's do this like Richard Dawson. Who is this Bear up there? Tell me who it is. Will.
Oh, that's
hold on a second. This is a Packer. I messed this up. Who's the Packer?
That's MVS.
What does that mean?
Marquez Valdez Scantling.
He stuck the pronunciation. It is Marquez. He came on the show and told us 2-1. You guys really do know your stuff. Give me a Bear for my guy David. David, don't fall behind.
That's Mr. Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith, you like him? Big hitter?
Big hitter, covers the field, super fast at the tackle. He's only going to keep getting better.
Wow, these guys are real fans. It's almost like we didn't find them on the street. Next, let's give us a Packer. We have a tie game. Our super producer says we are tied. Who is that man? And I also want the proper pronunciation.
That's the big guy out of Colorado, David Bakhtiari.
See, you're doing what Schrager does, which is just throwing in the alma mater just to show off. Extra credit. It is David Bakhtiari, maybe the best tackle in all of football. 3-2 Packers. If it goes this way, September 5th at Soldier Field, we're all going to have a party. David, can you name that Chicago Bear? Matt Hamilton's on the edge of his seat for this one.
That is Mr. Chase Daniel.
Chase what?
Daniels.
I can't accept that. It's actually Chase Daniel. It is not Chase. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. I'm the official scorekeeper. That is incorrect. There's only one Daniel here. So the Packers take the lead as we round up here, guys. Now we're going to get difficult. This is the double jeopardy. Let's see if you got a little James Holzhauer running you. Who is that incredibly cool guy? Will.
Is he a jazz bassist?
He looks like one, but I can't accept that. I need the actual name. Who is that?
Mike Gragowski?
Does that look like Mike Gragowski to you? No, that's Billy Turner. That's an offensive guard. Yeah, that's Mike Gragowski. He's from the South Side. No, Billy Turner. Packers lose. Transitions lenses, incredible. Ziplo, what is the score? For goodness sake, please. It is 3-2 Packers. David, this is for the tie. Okay. Who is this Chicago Bear?
Mike Ditka.
Well, now you're just being farcical. Do you really think that's Mike Ditka? Because you should know this. This is a Super Bowl season for the Bears. Yeah. It's going to take all 53. You understand? So I need you to know this guy.
I mean, Ditka's the god, the GOAT, so by the transition.
Not Ditka. It's a guy, his name's Clifton Duck. Wow. Clifton Duck. He's Howard's brother. Clifton Duck, he's a defensive back. My card tells me he's from Appalachian State. He's a rookie, and his Twitter handle is they love duck, which is incredible. So, guys, as we're rounding this out, it's 3-2 Green Bay in our series of football recognition. 3-2. I'm going to give you one more for the Packers fan, for Will. Send this one up to Sheboygan, to Williams Bay, to Fond du Lac, to Elkhorn. Who is this Green Bay Packer?
Well, that's the punter, and I don't think we'll be seeing a lot of him this year. I think his name's J.K. Scott.
He's got right answers, and he's got takes. 4-2. David, I'm going to give you 2 points for this. Okay, if you can somehow land this, you will tie, and then we'll have all kinds of problems. But who is this Chicago Bear?
Mike Ditka.
Okay. We also have comedians down here, guys. 3-2, 4-2, whatever it is. The Packers win. So if this plays out, the Packers go into Soldier Field. They win on that day. I know the Bears report today. I was just reading it happens to be Walter Payton's birthday. And the Miami Super Bowl in February, it is George Halas's birthday. So I don't know if that's going to be fortuitous or not. Did you guys learn something? I learned we have a huge fan and a sort of fan who will be appearing at the open mic night tonight. Back to the table, to D'Angelo, to Kay, to Peter. Unless you guys have any more questions for these guys, God forbid.
No, I'm good. I feel like the answer would be Mike Ditka no matter what we ask. So we'll leave it with that. But that was awesome. That was fun.
He said, we got a comedian down here.
Kyle likes being the one making the jokes, you know.
Oh, because I can see that.
Kyle wasn't happy with two Mike Ditka. He's like,
back-to-back Mike Ditka.
I've got Kyle's got his corner on the show. He's the jokester. Yeah. Don't slow down here, pal.
We'll see if he can make it back up upstairs and maybe not slow down so we can talk about this. Jalen Ramsey hopping out of a Brinks truck. It's not a Brinks truck, though.
It's not.